In the global music industry, validation often comes not only from chart positions, sales numbers, or streaming figures, but also from the acknowledgement of peers and established figures within the same field. Jungkook, as the youngest member of BTS and a solo artist in his own right, has reached a level where American pop stars, producers, and industry veterans have openly recognized his influence, talent, and presence in shaping a new dimension of pop success. This recognition represents more than casual admiration. It signals a shift in the dynamics of pop music, where a Korean artist has gained acceptance and even admiration from one of the most competitive and traditionally closed markets, the United States. One of the defining aspects of Jungkook's trajectory in the United States is how established artists, many of whom have dominated the charts for years, have spoken publicly or subtly, demonstrated their acknowledgement of his artistry. In the American market, collaborations, cosigns, and even social media interactions play a large role in determining influence and relevance. Jungkook has consistently been the subject of attention across these channels, establishing his identity as not merely a representative of BTS, but as an individual artist whose contributions to global pop culture are impossible to overlook. When American stars speak about international artists, their words carry significant weight because of the market dominance and influence they hold. In Jungkook's case, multiple public acknowledgements have underscored his importance. Artists who command global fan bases themselves have mentioned Jungkook in interviews, praised his performances, or expressed interest in collaborating. These statements are not simply fan-driven or casual. They represent recognition from artists who understand the complexities of maintaining longevity, artistry, and credibility in the highly competitive field of pop music. For example, artists who have already cemented their place in American music culture have highlighted Jungkook's vocal skill, versatility, and stage presence. In an industry where vocal ability is scrutinized against rigorous standards, having American counterparts publicly validate his technique reinforces the perception of Jungkook as a serious vocalist and not merely a pop idol. This is particularly important because the American market often distinguishes between idols and artists. Jungkook's acknowledgement by American stars contributes to dismantling this distinction, proving that the label of idol does not diminish artistry or technical ability. Collaborations between artists often serve as an unspoken acknowledgement of mutual respect. In the case of Jungkook, his collaborations with American producers and artists are a direct reflection of his growing stature. When American musicians agree to work with an international artist, it suggests that they view the partnership as beneficial both creatively and commercially. Jungkook's collaboration with American producers for his solo tracks indicates that his artistry is recognized at a professional level. These producers, who have previously worked with global superstars, extend their expertise to Jungkook not simply because of his fame, but because of his talent and ability to deliver music that resonates on a global scale. The dynamic is not one-sided. Jungkook's contributions bring new audiences and cultural diversity to the table, which American artists and producers value in today's globalized music market. Moreover, the reception of these collaborations demonstrates that Jungkook's presence is not viewed as an experimental venture, but as a legitimate contribution to mainstream pop. In fact, his collaborations have often been well received both critically and commercially, reinforcing the notion that Jungkook is not just borrowing credibility from American artists, but actively contributing to the success of the projects themselves. In the age of digital communication, Acknowledgements often come in subtle forms: likes, reposts, mentions, or symbolic gestures on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and X, formerly Twitter. American stars have engaged with Jungkook through these channels, which, while seemingly casual, hold substantial significance. These gestures demonstrate recognition in an industry where visibility and relevance are maintained not only through traditional media, but also through direct engagement on digital platforms. For example, when an American artist publicly interacts with Jungkook's content or acknowledges his work through reposting, it signals a form of endorsement to millions of followers. Such acknowledgements go beyond simple fandom. They are strategic and often deliberate, showing that American stars recognize Jungkook as a peer rather than as an outsider. Furthermore, these interactions often spark wider industry discussions, drawing attention to Jungkook's role in bridging cultural gaps. In some instances, American stars have even referenced Jungkook in their own content, an act that not only validates his influence but also situates him as part of ongoing cultural conversations in the US. Entertainment industry. The American entertainment media plays a central role in shaping perceptions of international artists. Jungkook's acknowledgement by American stars has been amplified by mainstream outlets, including magazines, digital platforms, and television programs. Media coverage often frames these acknowledgements as evidence of Jungkook's global dominance, highlighting the fact that his talent resonates beyond his home country and fan base. By documenting American artists' recognition of Jungkook, the media reinforces the legitimacy of his success in the eyes of the general public. This is important because mainstream audiences in the US often rely on established cultural figures to validate emerging or foreign artists. The repeated coverage of Jungkook being acknowledged by American stars contributes to his positioning as not just an international phenomenon, but as a legitimate force within the US pop landscape. Acknowledgement from American stars contributes to a broader redefinition of what constitutes pop success. For decades, American pop culture has been considered the global standard, with non-Western artists rarely achieving equal recognition. Jungkook's acceptance and acknowledgement by American peers challenge this dynamic, illustrating that success is no longer defined solely by US-born or Western artists. In fact, Jungkook's recognition highlights the growing influence of transnational pop, where artists from various cultural backgrounds contribute equally to shaping global trends. The acknowledgement from American stars signals that pop success today is defined less by geographic origin and more by talent, adaptability, and cultural impact. This redefinition benefits not only Jungkook but also other international artists seeking entry into the US market. Acknowledgement from American stars extends beyond the realm of music and into broader cultural and commercial domains. Jungkook's visibility in American pop culture has also been reinforced through fashion collaborations, brand endorsements, and public appearances that align him with American celebrities. When stars within the entertainment industry acknowledge Jungkook, it often overlaps with commercial interests, further integrating him into the American cultural fabric. For instance, brand campaigns in the US have leveraged Jungkook's acknowledgement by American celebrities to amplify their marketing reach. In this sense, acknowledgement functions not only as artistic validation, but also as a commercial strategy, where American and Korean cultural influences converge to create global campaigns that resonate with diverse audiences. It is important to note that acknowledgement between Jungkook and American stars is not one-directional. While American artists have recognized his talent, Jungkook himself has also expressed admiration for US musicians, and often draws inspiration from them. This two-way exchange creates a cycle of mutual validation, where cultural respect flows in both directions. Such exchanges dismantle the hierarchical perception that Western acknowledgement is the only measure of success, reframing it instead as an equal cultural dialogue. By positioning himself as both a recipient of acknowledgement and a giver of respect, Jungkook embodies the idea that global pop culture is collaborative rather than competitive. This perspective redefines success as a shared experience rather than a zero-sum competition, further illustrating his role in reshaping how pop success is understood in the modern era. While acknowledgement from American stars solidifies Jungkook's place in the US pop landscape, his individual achievements as a solo artist in the American market provide an even deeper insight into how he redefines success. Historically, non-American artists, particularly those from non-English speaking countries, have struggled to establish independent visibility in the United States. Even when foreign acts achieved temporary breakthroughs, they often did so through fleeting moments rather than sustainable careers. Jungkook's solo career, however, demonstrates not only sustainability but also dominance across multiple measures of success, from chart performance to streaming metrics, from brand power to cultural presence. The unique significance of Jungkook's solo trajectory lies in how it transcends the framework of BTS's collective popularity. While BTS created the foundation for Korean artists in the US market, Jungkook's individual accomplishments illustrate that his name alone commands recognition and measurable success. This distinction matters because it establishes him as an independent force, showing that his artistry and public presence can thrive beyond group identity. In this way, Jungkook sets a new benchmark for what international pop success looks like in the modern era. Chart success and the Billboard standard. One of the most widely accepted measures of success in the US is chart performance, particularly on Billboard. Jungkook's solo singles have consistently entered the Billboard Hot 100 and even achieved top positions. This level of performance is not a given for international artists, even those with global fame. The Billboard charts are highly competitive, often dominated by American artists with massive promotional infrastructures. Jungkook's ability to reach the top of these charts is evidence of several key factors: his global fan engagement, his musical adaptability to Western tastes, and his ability to connect with both loyal BTS fans and general American listeners. Importantly, his chart success is not the result of novelty or momentary hype. Multiple releases have charted successfully, demonstrating consistency rather than chance. This consistency is critical to redefining what international pop success means. It proves that non-American artists can build a career on repeated successes rather than isolated moments. Furthermore, Jungkook's performance on streaming platforms such as Spotify reinforces this achievement. His songs rank not only in global charts, but also in US specific playlists and rankings, which indicates that his presence is integrated into mainstream American listening habits. This challenges the old perception that foreign language or foreign origin music is limited to niche audiences. English language releases and strategic adaptation. Another aspect of Jungkook's solo success is his approach to language. By releasing English language songs, Jungkook positioned himself to bridge cultural gaps and appeal directly to US listeners. This does not imply that his artistry is dependent on Westernization, but rather that he adapts strategically without compromising authenticity. In the globalized era of music, adaptability is a key marker of success. American audiences have traditionally been less receptive to non-English music compared to other global markets. Jungkook's willingness to release English language material demonstrates both an understanding of the market and his flexibility as an artist. Importantly, these releases were not forced compromises. They were crafted with the same quality, style, and musical integrity as his Korean language projects. By navigating both linguistic and cultural barriers, Jungkook sets an example of how international artists can succeed in the US market while retaining global identity. This adaptability redefines pop success by broadening the definition of accessibility. Instead of limiting pop to English language dominance, Jungkook demonstrates how artists can selectively engage with English while still maintaining a multilingual global profile.